Anunnaki Homeworld by Jason M. Breshears. Read by Kevin Stevens, also known as Grendel Dark. Archive 13. Stonehenge 2, Crop Circles, and the Anunnaki Necklace. And I will show wonders in the heaven above, and signs in the earth beneath. Acts 2:19. The 6,000-year timeline of the curse upon humanity is measured out in exactly 120 Earth generations, known as Jubilees, a 50-year period. Stonehenge 1 was completed in 3163 BC and remained unaltered for 50 years until Enoch was instructed by God to add another ring and horseshoe within the complex. These new additions are pillars only, having no lintels, and they seem to mimic the originality of Stonehenge 1. But these are not sarsens, and they appear to be architecturally less significant than the initial gigantic sarsen ring and trilithons of Stonehenge 1. These newer pillars are bluestones, 6 feet high, 3 feet wide, and 1.5 feet thick, made of igneous rock, which is produced under intense heat. Symbolically, the sarsens represented the nature of humanity, made from soil, mud, and sand, but the bluestones, by their color, signify created beings not from earth, but from the sky, composed not of terrestrial materials, but from divine fire. The Presley Bluestone site is aligned with Caldy Island Glastonbury, Lundy Island Boscastle, and Castle Dore, all forming a triangle with Stonehenge as the apex, and Lundy Island as its central base, exactly 108 miles away. This appears to copy the geographical fact that from the Great Pyramid to the islands of the coast of Egypt, due north across the delta, is 108 miles. The addition of the bluestones concerns a prophetic message introduced into man's calendars of the last day's return of the Anunnaki 7 kings, the same regents that caused the social conditions that eventually led to the Great Flood. This subject does not lead us further astray from our principal topic of Niburu. Both Stonehenge 2 and the recent phenomenon of crop circles are interrelated, and both serve to demonstrate knowledge of the Anunnaki and Niburu. Stonehenge 2, addition of 79 bluestone pillars. Bluestone ring. 60 bluestone pillars without lintels were later added to Stonehenge, forming a 360-degree ring inside the megalithic sarsen ring of Stonehenge 1. Bluestone horseshoe. 19 bluestones were added inside the trilithon horseshoe. Note: while the large sarsens are symbolic of man and his relationship to time and the earth, the bluestones imply the introduction of something celestial, the blue-tinted heavens, or if we consider Euphratean beliefs, bluestones were also representative of the Anunnaki, whose symbol was that of a necklace belonging to the goddess Aruru. By adding the 79 bluestones to Stonehenge, the total number of standing pillars is now 120, foundation, ground. This is 30 sarsen ring pillars, 10 sarsen trilithon pillars, a 19 bluestone horseshoe, 60 bluestones in ring and central altar stone. The 2 rings of Stonehenge 2, sarsen and bluestone, add up to a total of 120 stones. 30 sarsen pillars, 30 sarsen lintel, 60 bluestones. Stonehenge 1 of the sarsens represented mankind on earth, enjoying harmony and balance. But Stonehenge 2 introduced celestial elements that do not belong among man. Enoch was told of the future of the world and the Anunnaki that were already afflicting his kingdom. Newgrange and Stonehenge 1 were erected in 3163 BC, Enoch's 70th year of ministry against the Anunnaki. And likewise, Stonehenge 2 was also designed by this architectural prophet. Stonehenge 1 was a total of 81 stones, and Stonehenge 2 added 79 bluestones for a total of 160 stones. The number 160 was the signature of Enoch, for Stonehenge 2 was finished in the 160th year of the life of Enoch the prophet, born 3273 BC. Confirmation is found in the fact that the 160th year of the life of Enoch was exactly 3113 BC, the start date of the sorely misunderstood Mayan long count calendar. Stonehenge 2, with its introduced bluestones, verify, as we will now see, the connection between Enoch, Stonehenge, the Anunnaki, and the Mayan long count. Stonehenge 1's 40 sarsen pillars, 30 in ring and 10 trilithon, encode a 360-day year that will be disrupted. Stonehenge 2's inclusion of 60 unconnected bluestones, after a period of 2,400 years, produced from 40 sarsens times 60 bluestones equals 2,400. Thus, after 2,400 years, the outer sarsens ring 360-day year will be no more. This assessment is proven from the fact that 2,400 years after 3113 BC is 713 BC, when the sun retrograded 10 degrees and a cataclysm resulted with the termination of the 360-day year to the vague year of the Maya of 365.24 days. These 2,400 years was the conclusion of 6 Baktuns, 144,000 times 6 days, which is 864,000 days. 864 being the foundation of time, and in this context means that the foundation of the year was broken, and there are 2 breaks in the perimeter embankment. The alteration in the orbital year from 360 days to 365.24 is why the Mayan long count does not end in 2012 AD, as popularly propagated, but the addition of 5.24 days a year from 713 BC to the end of the Mayan calendar's total 1,872,000 days, 13 Baktun, ends in 2046 AD, when Niburu passes Earth and the United States is destroyed by a comet-asteroid collision. Stonehenge 2 is a lithic model of the mechanics of terrestrial motion and the distance from the Sun, demonstrating that in 713 BC and 2046 AD, the orbit of the Earth is altered. Much has been theorized concerning the meaning of the Anunnaki necklace, or necklace of Aruru, in Sumero-Babylonian texts. Following the lead of Zecharia Sitchin, many authors have tried in vain to demonstrate that this refers to the asteroid belt lying between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter. And while this may have some truth to it, the provable and verified by crop circles identity of the Anunnaki necklace is the bluestone horseshoe inside the trilithons of Stonehenge. The Sumerian traditions claim that the Anunnaki were represented as blue stones on the necklace of a goddess, a tradition reflected in the ancient Americas, where we find these stones in the form of lapis lazuli and turquoise. As all sarsens and bluestones identify modes of timekeeping in calendars and chronologies that count down toward the return of the chief cornerstone, symbolized in the center of Stonehenge as the altar stone, just as we find in the center of the Aztec stone of the fifth sun. The bluestone horseshoe represents a final calendrical countdown to the end times reign of the most powerful of the Anunnaki, the 7 kings. This final calendar can be none other than the Anno Domini calendar. The 19 bluestones are an enigma. 19 is a lunar number. However, in this instance, it is not the Earth's moon being referenced here. The bluestone horseshoe represents the former moon of Niburu, the dark satellite, and was placed within the trilithon geometry that forms a pentagram. This geometrical form identifies with the 108-degree angle, and a 5-pointed star forming 10 108-degree angles for the total sum of 1080. In mystic traditions, 1080 is a lunar number, and within this architectural complex, we are specifically confronted with the two sums of 19 and 1080, as they are attached to a final calendar. Thus, the 19 bluestones times 108 equal the Anno Domini year of 2052 AD, the return of the dark satellite, the lost moon of Niburu. This date is encoded many times in the Great Pyramid's timeline, as found in chronotecture. This date and concept is further proven by the decoded messages of crop circles, as we will see. For the critic thinking that this is an arbitrarily contrived date because we selected the Anno Domini system, which is the final calendar, then consider the following. Stonehenge 3 was conducted in 1687 BC, after a global series of earthquakes destroyed cities all around the world. In 1687 BC, the sun darkened when planet Phoenix passed between the sun and Earth. These strange transits are the subject of When the Sun Darkens. After studying the Stonehenge site, Sir Norman Lockyer concluded that the complex was erected in 1680 BC, a pretty close approximate. But this was merely a renovation made by Semitic people in the days of the life of Jacob. Unlike Stonehenge 1 and 2, the 3 site was not a phase of construction, but re-erecting, for after the Great Flood of 2239 BC and the quakes of 1687 BC, Stonehenge had been damaged. According to the bamboo books of the Chinese found in 279 BC, the year 1687 BC was a disaster with meteoric rain when a 5-planet alignment occurred. See Chronicon. The remarkable fact about 1687 BC is that from the introduction of the bluestones, that symbolize the Anunnaki influence over mankind, into the Stonehenge complex in 3113 BC, past 1,426 years, or 713 plus 713 years. The 3113 BC Mayan long counts backtune count of perfect 360-day years for a total of 2,400 years ended in 713 BC, when the dark satellite, an Anunnaki prison, nearly collided into Earth. The bluestones, as we have seen, indicate a 2,400-year period as well, which ended in 713 BC. These 713 years count down to the Anno Domini calendar, and the 19 bluestones exhibit the release of the Anunnaki from the dark satellite in 2052 AD, 108 times 19. Signs in the Earth. The recent crop circle phenomenon is another enigma laden with researchers, for the most part looking in all the wrong directions. They are simple in their mathematical interpretations, despite the complex geometrical designs they appear in. The exact same formulae employed in the science of chronometry, as used in the previous archive to decode Stonehenge 1, remains the same for comprehending the latent messages in these odd and badly misunderstood agroglyphs. There are 2 facts that need to be taken into consideration relevant to our thesis. Both facts made known in Andrew Collins' pioneering work entitled Crop Circles, Signs of Contact. First, Collins asserts that about 95% of all crop circles appearing worldwide manifest within 40 miles of Stonehenge. Second, researchers have noted that the first crop circles, the first circles appearing with rings, and the first double circles connected with lines were all of the same geometry, scale and proportions as the bluestone horseshoe of 19 stones within Stonehenge. This author interprets this fact in one way. In their campaign to delude the governments of the world that they are an advanced extraterrestrial species, the Anunnaki initially began forming crop circles. Some men bought into the deception, while others remained skeptical. Because the Anunnaki initiated this form of communication, watchers still loyal to the Creator were assigned the task of providing messages to mankind in the same way. Elaborate warnings with absolutely beautiful geometric patterns. Such a thesis, of course, requires substantiation. Review herein the signs given to mankind by the mind of God. Stonehenge Julia set, first reported 7/7/1996. Appeared in close proximity to Stonehenge on Salisbury Plain in Wiltshire, England, in Wheatfield, across the highway in daytime, 900 by 500 feet. 151 total circles in formation. 36 segment formation divided into 115 satellites stemming from segments. Formula: 151 minus 36 equals 15. 15 times 36 equals 4140. The geometrical crop formation identifies the calendrical function of Stonehenge as being a chronolithic cursed Earth calendar for 4140, which is exactly 10 cursed Earth periods of 414 years each. The Julia set is a geometrical phenomenon, a perfect representation of the Fibonacci spiral. Leonardo Pisano, known to us as Fibonacci, was a guru in medieval Western mathematics who traveled widely and published his Liber Abaci in 1202 AD. The Fibonacci series concerns a sum that is a total of the two previous numbers in a sequence, a formula that encodes many mysteries of nature concerning the harmonics of light and music. Interestingly, the 12th Fibonacci number is 144, 12 times 12. The inventor John Keeley, a man way before his time, wrote that this spirovortex is the key to nature and comprehending the mechanics of the universe through whole numbers, which are the only numbers used in chronometry. Triple Julia set, first reported 7/7/1996. Appeared same day as Stonehenge Julia set, also in Wiltshire, but located at Windmill Hill, ancient megalithic site near Yatesbury. Measures 260 times 260 meters. 199 total circles. 198 circles when eliminating axial circle. Only circle not in triplicate. 3 arms of formation have 26 circle segments each. 78 total segments. 3 segmented arms have 40 satellite circles each. 120 total satellites. Formula: 198 minus 78 equals 120. 120 times 120 satellites equals 14,400. 144 times 100. The number 120 is encoded twice in this formation and is also found prominently multiple times in Stonehenge chronometry, being the foundation number known in antiquity as the Sumerian Shar. The 14,400 sum is too large to refer to years within recorded history, but instead denotes days, for this is exactly 40 years on the sacred year count of 360 days a year. 360 times 40 equals 14,400. These 40 years is a countdown from 1996, when this appeared, to the year 2036 AD, the 40th year of the Antichrist, who was born in 1996 AD. 2036 AD begins the apocalypse. The Pointer Formation, 1996 AD. This formation represents a necklace, specifically the Sumerian goddess Aruru's necklace, each segment being one of her Anunnaki offspring. Pointer is a misnomer. This agroglyph represents a comet, which is verified by its mathematical interpretation. Liddington Castle, Wiltshire. 40 total agroglyphs. 20 segments, 19 satellites, 13 primary satellites, 6 tiny outer satellites, 1 pointer. Formula: 40 minus 20 equals 20. 20 times 20 equals 400. Mayan backtune of 144,000 days. 400 times 13 primary satellites equals 5,200. 13 backtunes of Mayan long count. The necklace with 19 satellites mimics the 19 bluestones of inner Stonehenge, both mathematically and geometrically. 19 bluestones and 19 necklace satellites form semicircle horseshoe. 19 bluestones surround trilithon geometry of a pentagram, formed of 108-degree angles, forming Sumerian Arub comet symbol, akin to goddess Aruru. And 19 satellites of necklace surround a comet agroglyph. Both Stonehenge's bluestones and this crop formation indicate the calendrical year of 2052 AD, 108 times 19, as being the return of the Anunnaki. These beings are said to return in the Book of Revelation as the 7 kings, ruled over by an 8th. This 8th Anunnaki king is found in the ancient Sumerian king lists and indicated in this crop circle formation by the fact that the necklace identifies the Anunnaki, and also the 8th Anunnaki circle is pointed at by the tail of the comet. According to Revelation, it is by cometary impact that the locusts, Anunnaki, emerge on Earth in the last days. Fractal formation, 2005 AD, appeared in Poland. 13 total crop circles. Formula: 13 times 4 equals 52. 4 arms. Geometrical interpretation: 8 angles, all at 135 degrees, is 1080. 135 times 8. Cuxton formation, 1998 AD. 27 total circles. 4 unusually large equidimensional circles. Formula: 27 times 4 equals 108. This formation appeared in 1998 AD, which is exactly a 108th year countdown to the year 6000 Annus Mundi, 2106 AD, the year the Anunnaki will suffer defeat under the domination of the chief cornerstone at Armageddon. Tri-armed Triskele formation, 1997 AD, Cuxton. 21 total circles. 12 ring formation, 9 circles in 3 arms. Formula: 21 minus 12 equals 9. 9 times 12 equals 108. Formula: 360-degree ring formation. 360 times 3 arms is 1080. Ogburn St. George formation, 2003 AD. 18 circles, actually 19, but axis omitted. 6-point formation. Formula: 18 times 6 equals 108. Milk Hill formation, 2001 AD. 409 total crop circles. 408, omitting axis circle, which is the only one not in hexagrammic formation. 6 segmented arms of 13 circles each. 78 total segments. 78 is the number of segments in triple Julia set. 330 satellites. 55 satellites on each of the 6 arms. Formula A: 408 circles times 6-fold pattern is 2448. This is the ancient Annus Mundi year of 1447 BC, the exodus of the 13 tribes of Israel from Egypt, historic type of evil world, when Israel was led into the land of promise. Formula B: same formula as Julia sets. 408 minus 78 equals 330. 330 times 78 equals 25,740. Just as in triple Julius set, this 25,740 is too large to be years in recorded history, but instead represents days. A countdown from the appearance of this crop formation of 25,740 days to a future event. 25,740 days identifies the year 2070 AD. 69 years is 25,185 days. 365 times 69. But we must add 17 days for leap years, for 25,202 days. Differential from 25,740 of crop formation and 25,202 in 69 years is 538 days. But this crop formation did not occur in December of 2001, but earlier in the year. Thus, these 538 days is eliminated from the months in 2001 to year's end and the exact time in 2070 AD that the resurrection occurs. This formation mathematically refers back to the Exodus, but calendarically points to the future planetary exodus of God's chosen ones from apocalyptic Earth, foreshadowed in 10 plagues on Egypt. 2070 AD is equal to 414 times 5. Uberdingen, Baden-Württemberg, Germany, 2006 AD. 18 crop circles, 6 arms. 18 times 6 equals 108. 9 pointed star formation, Share Hill, 1999 AD. 9 triangular points. 15 total is sum of Stonehenge trilithons. 6 crescent arcs. The 9 triangular points have 2 faces each. 18. 18 times 6 arcs equal 108. 108 degrees, found conceptually in Stonehenge's trilithon geometry. Wilton Windmill Formation, 2004 AD. 12 circles on perimeter, 12 pyramids, 6 facing inward, 6 forming inner star, 6-point formation. Formula: 12 times 12 equals 144. 144 times 6 equals 864. Foundation of time number. Note: Star of David seen inside formation is the geometric symbol for number 108. 6 pyramids have 18 faces. 6 times 18 equals 108. Beckhampton Formation, 2001 AD. 96 pyramids, 24 other forms. 96 plus 24 is 120. Foundation number. Outer ring has 8 pentagrammic Anunnaki nerve symbols, identifying 108 geometry. 108 times 8 equals 864. Anunnaki Nur is 600 years, or 5 pentagram periods of 120 years. 120 times 5 equals 600. The sum of 120 is double reference, for the outer ring of triangular pentagrams geometrically displays 8 pentagrams made of 5 three-sided triangles, each pentagram having 15 sides, again reflecting 15 trilithons of Stonehenge. 15 times 8 equals 120. Milk Hill, Wiltshire Formation, 1997 AD. 18 pyramidal perimeter points, 48 facets. 126 crop circle satellites. 126 minus 18 equals 108. 126 satellites are 54 large circles, half of 108. 72 tiny circles, half of 144. 48 perimeter facets times 18 points equal 864. 48 times 54 large circles equals 2,592. 864 times 3. 48 times 72 tiny circles equals 3,456. 864 times 4. 48 times 126 total satellites equals 6,048. 864 times 7. 864 is the foundation of time. Two principal sums of this formation are 108 and 864, and 108 times 8 equals 864. The Aldborn Formation, 2005 AD. 408 total is the same as the Milk Hill Formation of 2001 AD that encoded the date of the resurrection and historic Exodus. This same 408 times 6, 6 is layers of geometric form, is 2448 Annus Mundi, year of Exodus, 1447 BC. 1. Ring circle perimeter. 2. 30 four-sided forms of outer ring of diamonds. 30 times 4 equals 120. 3. 27 four-sided forms of next ring of diamonds. 27 times 4 equals 108. 4. 21 four-sided forms of next ring of diamonds. 21 times 5 equals 84. 5. 15 four-sided forms of next ring of diamonds. 15 times 4 equals 60. 6. 9 four-sided forms of inner ring of diamonds. 9 times 4 equals 36. The 6 layers add up to 2448, but the central icon is a 3-sided triangle. Thus, 2448 times 3 is 7,344 years, the entire length of the Great Pyramid's geometrical calendar, from 5239 BC to 2106 AD, the year 6000 Annus Mundi. By 2448 AM, or 1447 BC, mankind had survived under Anunnaki influence for a third of Anunnaki history, and the planetary exodus of the resurrection in 2070 is when the redeemed among men have filled the positions of the fallen Anunnaki, the third of heaven that rebelled. Double helix formation, England, 1996 AD, June. 12 circles, 78 satellites forming double helix. 78 is sum of segments in triple Julius set of 1996, and sum of segments in Milk Hill Formation of 2001. Formula: 78 minus 12 equals 66, abbreviated 666. 66 times 12 equals 792. Orbital duration of Anunnaki planet Niburu. Message: the Anunnaki have perfected their angel-human hybrid DNA pattern and executed it in the form of a man born in 1996, who will become the antichrist. Their terrestrial representative, who will deceive mankind into believing he is God, returned in the form of a man, Messiah. This DNA formation is 34 years after the 1962 AD end of the Anunnaki Ner chronology, 144 years to Armageddon. 34 years being 408 months. This formation appears to be attached mathematically, geometrically, and conceptually with the following other crop formations. 1. Stonehenge Julius set of 1996. 2. Triple Julius set of 1996. 3. Pointer Formation of 1996. 4. Milk Hill Formation of 2001. 5. Aldborn Formation of 2005. Avebury Manor, Wiltshire Formation, 1999 AD. 11 crop circles forming each arm. 8 arms for a total of 88 crop circles, omitting axial circle. 48 tiny circles are satellites. Formula: 88 minus 48 equals 40. 40 times 48 equals 1920. 1920 AD is the year 5814 Annus Mundi, which begins a 186-year countdown to the year 6000 AM, 2106 AD, Armageddon and the return of the chief cornerstone, who defeats the Anunnaki. This being significant because 5814 is the precise pyramid inch height of the Great Pyramid, once fitted with its apex stone. Monument currently has no cornerstone. This interpretation is corroborated by the fact that this crop formation is octagonal in dimensions. This 8-sided glyph having exactly 8 angles of 135 degrees. 135 times 8 equals 1080. This being the Annus Mundi year of 2815 BC, when the Great Pyramid was finished and left without a cornerstone, who would not arrive as an actual person until the year 6000 AM, 2106 AD. The odd symbol in upper right of formation is unknown to author. 5 Pyramids Formation, 1999 AD. Located at Long Barrow, West Kennet, Wiltshire. 156 satellites. 36 large satellites. 120 tiny satellites. Formula: 156 minus 36 equals 120. 120 times 36 equals 4,320. 1080 times 4, or 1440 times 3. Variant formula: large 5 pyramids glyph has 68 facets. 68 times 36 large satellites is 2448. The Annus Mundi date of the Exodus in 1447 BC. Further, 120 minus 68 equals 52. Variant formula: 156 satellites minus 68 facets is 88. 88 times 68 is 5984, the Annus Mundi year of 2090 AD, the final and worst of the 7 plagues of Revelation. Thus, 2448 identifies the 10 plagues on Egypt, and 5984 is the end of the plagues of the Apocalypse in 2090 AD. Fifield Down Formation, Wiltshire, 1999 AD. 37 principal circles, 36 omitting axial circle not in hexagrammic form. 54 satellites, 84 circles total, 36 outer perimeter facets. 84 plus 36 equals 120. Formula: 120 times 12 point terminations is 1440. 144 times 10. 1440 times 6. 6-pointed form principal design is 8,640. 864 times 10. Hackpen Hill, Wiltshire, 1997 AD. Crop formation is composed of 13 pyramids, 12 perimeter pyramids on a large pyramid, 33 large circles, 62 tiny circles. Formula: 33 times 62 equals 2046. Tiny and large circles are configured to appear as approaching comets, and these identify the calendrical year of 2046 AD, when the United States will be destroyed by cometary impact, bringing to an end the global reign of the 13th tribe of Israel, USA and Britain. Also identified here as the large pyramid bordered with the 12 perimeter pyramids, 12 tribes of Israel. Verification of interpretation. This crop formation appeared in 1997. This appearance happens to be an isometric projection verifying the interpretation of this formation's meaning of the 2046 AD end of the United States. 13th tribe. 2046 AD is exactly 49 years, 7 times 7, after the 1997 AD appearance of this crop glyph, and 49 years before 1997 AD is the year 1948 AD, rebirth of the State of Israel, giving the internationally dispersed people of the 12 tribes a place to live in the land of their forefathers. Winchester, Hampshire Formation, June 22, 1995. Discovered at Longwood Warren near Winchester was this unique depiction of our solar system, depicting the Sun, Mercury, Venus, and Mars, as well as the asteroid belt. Earth itself is missing, and to confirm its absence from its position, its orbital belt is clearly shown. Astronomers Gerald Hawkins and Robert Hadley both confirmed that this was an accurate model of the solar system. The cellular changes in the plants prove that this crop circle to be original and not a hoax. The key to interpreting the time when Earth will be removed from its place is time itself. The asteroid belt consists of 52 clockwise circles and 13 counterclockwise circles. These numbers being the denominators for the Mayan long count that ends in 2046 AD. The 2046 AD event of Nibiru's return is 51 years after the appearance of this sign, and the isometric year from 1995 is 51 years prior, or 1944 AD, the year the USA landed the most expansive amphibious invasion upon a foreign shore, Normandy, in world history in Operation Overlord, mirroring the Anunnaki invasion that will occur in 2046 AD, when Earth is moved from its place by the arrival of Niburu. We have reviewed 20 signs from the mind of the Creator, specifically designed to warn his creations, humanity, of the designs of the Anunnaki and the timeline these baleful entities are subject to. The conspiracy theories concerning Men in Black as being government operatives is not accurate. They are actual agents of the Anunnaki sent to deter investigators, intimidate them, and lead them astray, as they do to the government agencies around the world that unofficially study these signs. The occasionally witnessed black helicopters associated with these crop circles do not manufacture them, but photograph the site for insiders in the government who seek to interpret these agroglyphs. Most of the officials and world governments who are studying the phenomenon have been duped by Anunnaki agents into believing that these signs are attempts to communicate by an advanced alien race. But the truth is that this alien race is not alien to this world. They owned the planet before we did, and they will be returning to rule over the world, which was, in the beginning, rightfully theirs. Those who have become attached to this life and the world in its present state will learn the error of their choice in 2046 AD. Those of us who await the return of the chief cornerstone await another life, in another time and place, a destiny that by rebellion the Anunnaki lost.